Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Well, friends, in the previous lecture, we talked about religion. The purpose was to demonstrate how sociologists who have worked on the issue of religion have conceptualized religion, what they have said about religion. It is obvious that sociology of religion is not religion. By understanding sociology of religion, we do not understand what religion is, by what religious feeling is or what religiousness is. Most of you are religious and you belong to some or other religion, mostly to Hindus, but there are some Christians and some Muslims, there are some Sikhs. And most of you engage in some other religious practice. None of us can say that we do not engage in any religious practice. There can be different aspects of religiousness. Religion is about knowledge. Religion is about beliefs. Religion is about practices. Religion is about deeper meanings. And religion is about a broad worldview or cosmology or our understanding of relationship between man and the universe. In some or other sense, we are all religious. But still, when we use the term religion in common parlance, we mean something. And sociology of religion is not to discover so much about the essence of that religiosity. Sociologists of religion need not be religious persons. Most likely they are not. The purpose of sociology of religion is to understand the connection between religion as one social fact and other facts of society. So like as in case of family, state, or we will see in case of education, stratification, sociologists are more interested in how does something evolve, how does it change with time, what factors are responsible for change, how does something compare with similar things in other societies, how does it influence other trends in society, and how does it get influenced by other trends of society, and what is future. Now looked at from this perspective, let me show a few connections, although I mentioned some of them earlier, but not so clearly. And I will confine my discussion in this lecture to 2 or 3 small things which are of general interest. One, the relationship between religion and society. There is a very close relationship between religion and society. What kind of religion you have depends on what kind of society. So, society determines what kind of religion you are likely to have. If you make a typology of religion on some basis, for example, we made a typology of religion on the basis of polytheism or theism and atheism to begin with, or even before that, magic, witchcraft, sorcery, superstitions. So superstitions including magic, witchcraft, sorcery, then theism or atheism, and in theism we make a further distinction between polytheism, monotheism and pantheism. So what kind of religion you have, what type of religion you will have depends on what kind of society you have. And what kind of society you have depends a lot on the religious worldview or the ideas which are propagated by a particular religion. So there is a connection. At least in a religiously plural society like ours, actually I do not have to stress on this point. This is so obvious. We know that in India, politics is based on religion. We are a plural society and all world religions are found here. And all religions are quite significant in number. Muslim, the second majority or the biggest minority, they are quite sizable. 13 to 14% of the population consists of Muslims. Then Christians, 6, they are also very sizable number. And there is so much of regional diversity that there are several states or regions in which minority religions are in majority. So in Kashmir, Muslims are in majority. In Kerala, Hindus are in majority, but the difference between Hindus, Muslims and Christians is not so large as in other states of India. In several northeastern states, Christians are quite sizable and in some cases in majority. And in Punjab, Sikhs are in majority. And you see that in Indian politics, religion has been one of the most vital forces. It does not mean that economic forces, ideology, nationalism, these things have not mattered. Certainly they have mattered. But religion has played a big role. Sometimes the relationship between religion and class is so close that for commentators or for historians or for sociologists, it becomes difficult to attribute an event, a movement, a change, a fight, a civil war, or a communal tension to this or this. And there are so many instances of this. Just to revive your memory, and the whole idea of partition was based on religion. But there are issues. Many historians and many commentators believe that religion was intertwined with class. Actually, like in forget about what happened in today's Pakistan. Interestingly, the demand for Pakistan was not so vocal, so effective. Actually, it was countered there. In today's Pakistan, the area which has actually gone to Pakistan, there was no demand for Pakistan. Pakistan was not demanded by Pakistani Muslims. Pakistan was a demand mostly of Muslims of UP and Bihar. To some extent Gujarat or Rajasthan, this part, North India. And like Mahatma Gandhi, Jinnah was also a Gujarati, a lawyer, a nationalist who worked closely with Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi for a very long time. Only toward the end of his life, for a few years, he became communal. And the nature of Islam, the nature of reaction of Islam to independence or national liberation struggle was so very different, because the Muslims are not a monolithic community. In the whole of this Indian subcontinent, Muslims were not of the same type. Muslims of Kerala get surprised when they see behavior of Muslims of UP. I have guided some PhD students from Kerala who are Muslim. I have also guided one Muslim student from Bihar. I know their mentality. Kerala Muslims, again, although it becomes more of narratives, but I think in introductory sociology class, I can afford to give more narratives or stories to clarify the point. One of my students is working on palliative care. And in some districts of Kerala, where palliative care means when somebody is terminally ill, he or she cannot be cured. So now we can only add, or we can expect to add only quality to remaining years. We cannot add years to his life. We can reduce pain, we can take care of some of his unresolved family problems, children's education, house construction, house repair, or religious or spiritual services, or other issues. But we know that the person is not going to survive. No medical treatment will work. In certain cases, as of advanced stage of cancer, HIV, kidney problems, there are problems, paralysis, stroke, in some extreme cases. You don't expect anything that the persons will survive. You can only reduce their pain, improve their quality of life, keep them more happy. So in Kerala, where the palliative care is more of community based, some Muslim religious organizations are quite active in organizing palliative care. And according to one Islamic concept, there is, the other day I said that there are certain principles of Islam that everybody has to follow. Among those principles, you have prayers. First of all, the belief that there is only one God, one Almighty Allah, then Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of that God, then prayers, then pilgrimage, once at least in life, aspiring to go for pilgrimage, and fasting. Like that, there is a small concept of akika. They call it akika. Akika means when a child is born. Then from their perspective, when a child is born, a gift of weight equivalent to weight of child's hair is to be given. This is called akika. And there in Kerala, Muslims are giving gold and silver in weight equivalent to hair of the newborn child. And this akika is going to palliative care. This was not so interesting for me, till I came to know that this fund under akika and contributed by Muslim organizations is going for palliative care and not confined to Muslims only. Everybody is beneficiary. Hindus are taking palliative care from those people, Muslims are taking, Christians are taking. Very liberal. This is one face of Islam, very liberal face of Islam. During the freedom struggle, in today's Kashmir has a complex, interesting history. But during the freedom struggle, in 20s, 30s, 40s, communal riots started appearing in different parts of the country, but never in Kashmir. Kashmir was one area where communal riots did not occur ever. It was so secular society. At the time of partition of the country also nothing, it was not touched. They had their own problems, but most secular. And then came a time around 1990 when the kind of atrocities done against Hindus, Hindu means Pandits there, were unparalleled. In no other state, even during worst times of communal riots, perhaps such atrocities, such killing, such cruelty were shown by some people against Hindu Pandits in Kashmir. In Pakistan, when Pakistan was born, there were communal riots, killings, and according to some estimates, millions of people died. Both Hindus and Muslims, and Hindus include Sikhs. Those who came from Pakistan, trains full of dead bodies of Hindus and Sikhs came from there. Khushwant Singh has written a book, Train to Pakistan. One must read that book sometime. And similarly, trains full of dead bodies of Muslims went from here. Religion is very important. We can't forget religion, how religion affects society. And the Muslims who actually agitated on the issue of division of the nation on the basis of religion did not gain anything. They were not the Muslims of today's Pakistan. They were mostly the Muslims of UP and Bihar. And when these Muslims went to Pakistan, they became muhajirs. They are called muhajirs in a pejorative sense, and they are suffering from discrimination. It's like, although they are all Bengalis, but Bengalis who are native of West Bengal and Bengalis who are native of today's Bangladesh, they discriminate against each other. They don't accept each other so easily. And there are prejudices, there are symbols. Some is Bengal, some Ghati or something. There are people use different terms for different communities or for the purpose of discrimination. And in this way they express their prejudices. Religion has been a very powerful force. It is only because of religion that Punjab was formed. Otherwise it was all a big Punjab. And Punjab University was not located in Chandigarh. Punjab University was located in Shimla. At some point, then some religious come political leaders, and that shows that religion interacts with politics. To ordinary people, it doesn't matter. How does it matter to ordinary people whether they are living in Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand or Jharkhand or Madhya Pradesh? But there are political interests. There are ambitions of politicians who manipulate people's religious sentiments. So at some time, some people started thinking that if there can be an independent country for Muslims, an independent country of Christians were perhaps not possible in India, because nowhere in any part of mainland India, Christians comprise any significant majority except in Kerala. But there also they were in minority. So why not a separate state for Sikhs? The issue of identity. It becomes a political question and religion becomes an identity. So religion is not religious beliefs alone. Religion is not subscribing to certain books or ideas or practices or totems or symbols or worldviews or cosmology or ethics or metaphysics. Religion also takes the form of identity. I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am Sikh. And once religion becomes identity and enters politics, then it becomes a very complex thing. It goes beyond our hands. At one time I took a lot of interest in reading Gandhi, and I virtually cried that at one stage Gandhi said, Gandhi is known to be one person whose faith in communal harmony and whose action towards bringing different religious communities together is unflinching. Nobody can doubt Gandhiji's intention. There were actually two persons in India at that time. Nobody could doubt their intention when it comes to religious or caste question. Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. I was reading somewhere that Sheikh Abdullah did not want to go with Pakistan. If today Kashmir is in India, it is because Sheikh Abdullah did not want to join Pakistan. But in place of joining India, he gradually started thinking of an independent country. And the main reason was that by that time, a new political outfit in the name of Jansangh by someone, a close associate of Jawaharlal Nehru. These are interesting questions of history. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, the founder of Jansangh, was not communal from beginning. He was a member of Constitutional Assembly, and he worked closely with Jawaharlal Nehru. But once Shyama Prasad Mukherjee forms a Jansangh and an outfit of that kind in Jammu part, and they become quite active. Jansangh becomes quite active. Then Sheikh Abdullah started thinking that, okay, today Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is alive. As long as Jawaharlal Nehru is here, there is no problem. India will remain a secular country. But what will happen after Jawaharlal Nehru? If people of the type of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, he thought so. These are historical figures, and there are many good points, bad points in each one of them. But this is how Sheikh Abdullah thought. Sheikh Abdullah thought that tomorrow, when Jawaharlal Nehru will go, and other political leaders of the type of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, and by that time many other, Sheikh Abdullah could not trust on religious question any other leader, including the top leaders of Congress party other than Jawaharlal Nehru. So what will happen? So Sheikh Abdullah thought that let Kashmir become an independent country. And then the reason was religious. Although Sheikh Abdullah was as secular a person as Jawaharlal Nehru, and they trusted each other, had tremendous friendship and faith in each other, but Sheikh Abdullah thought, what after Nehru? Phir kya hoga? So it became now a religious issue. And the same Jawaharlal Nehru, who trusted Sheikh Abdullah so much, history shows how he was imprisoned when the intelligence showed that Sheikh Abdullah had joined America in building an independent nation of Kashmir in India, outside India actually, independent nation of Kashmir, and he is negotiating that in Kashmir certain thousands of American soldiers, American bureaucrats, officers, intelligence forces will remain. This was the negotiation. So Kashmir will become an independent country, and virtually it will remain under the leadership of America, military leadership of America. Then it was an issue for worry. Then Jawaharlal Nehru will not accept this. If a small area like Kashmir is sort of captured by American forces, it will not be good for the balance of power in this region. It will also not be good otherwise, economically, politically. And Sheikh Abdullah was captured. So, and this then came to the situation when in 1990 and subsequently, Hindu Pandits were just butchered. How from secular society develops a communal society. So in Punjab, then some people thought that we are Sikhs, we are different from others. They forget the fact that for a long time, Hindus and Sikhs married each other. And Guru Granth Sahib is full of prayers written by saints revered by both Hindus and others. Belief systems are similar. You cannot, sometimes I find it quite interesting to watch when television is showing Guruvani. I have also interacted with some old Sikhs on the campus, father of some staff members, faculty members, fathers come, they spend some time, go for a walk. Some old Sikhs also were there on the campus. I had close interaction. And they told me that actually you cannot understand Guru Granth Sahib, you cannot interpret Guru's Vani truly unless you are rooted in Hindu religious philosophy. Guru Granth Sahib is nothing but Hindu religious philosophy. The idea of Jeev, Brahman, Atman, this or Ram. Sometime I show it to my wife also that see, when Guru Granth Sahib is recited, Guru Bani is coming, it looks much more Hindu than Hindu recitations of Ramcharitmanas or singing of Hindu bhajans, because they do it more seriously. Hindu singers are more careless, more dependent on parodies, more on sound. And some I find when some Hindu preachers from Mathura, Vrindavan, they are coming and organizing Srimad Bhagavad, it's very cheap. So even for recitation of Ram Ka Naam, I tell my wife, you watch Guru Vani. But identity, no, we are different. And the politicians, in their own ambition, politicians are very ambitious people. And politicians will say, they also know in their heart that it may not lead to, or it will create more problems for people, both Hindus and Sikhs. At the grassroots level, it will create more problems than it will solve. But they want a separate state for Sikhs. So then gradually, it's a long history, then demand for Punjabi. So a hilly part was given to, or was carved out from Punjab, it became Himachal Pradesh. A Hindu majority area was carved out from Punjab, it became Haryana, and the rest of it became Punjab. A Sikh majority, but it's very thin majority. The number of Hindus in Punjab is not very less than the number of Sikhs. Very small majority Sikhs have there. But identity, politics. And politics makes religion question. So I was telling that at one place when I read Gandhiji, somebody who worked for Hindu-Muslim unity for such a long period of time with greatest devotion, unflinching faith that if India is to survive and India is to be a prosperous, developed country, a civilized nation, then communal harmony is very important. He said, now nothing can be done. Gandhi realized at one time that nothing can be done. The communal question or the religious question has gone into the hands of God. Now whatever God will want, that will happen. When I was reading this, I was sad, and I felt under what circumstances a person like Mahatma Gandhi must have said this, that now nothing can be done. What would have been circumstances? Religion is such a potent force, and religion can be extremely a positive thing, a very humanistic thing, but it can also be a very dangerous thing when it comes to relationship between religion and society, very dangerous thing. So politics, identity, when religion is combined with politics and identity, then it becomes a problem for society. So religion affects society, religion has affected. India is the best example of how religion has affected Indian society. It is still affecting. The latest issue is whether there should be 4.5% reservation for Muslims under OBC. The latest, one of the most significant constitutional, political, educational issue of this week is this, whether there should be 4.5% reservation. High Court has not accepted. Now the government has gone to Supreme Court. And there is also an issue that more than 300 students who got admission under this policy last year in IITs, what will happen to them if Supreme Court also says that this reservation on the basis of religion is wrong? So, religion is very important. These things are debatable. What side is right, what side is not right. We can talk about that, we can debate for a long time. But the issue is that religion is a very important social force which interacts with other facts of society. It interacts with politics. In India, people are known to be voting on the basis of religion. It is affecting education. It affects everything, family, even laws, civil marriage, property laws, it affects them. Looked at from one perspective, it makes sense to say that if India was to develop as a secular nation, then criminal and civil laws of all the people of India should be same. What is communal in saying this? But civil code became a communal issue. If you say that the criminal and civil laws of the land should be same for all the people of India, you are a communal person, you are BJP. Because the Muslims did not accept this. And there is a separate Muslim code bill or Muslim law or Muslim personal law according to which Muslims are permitted to maintain their own Islamic law in matters of marriages, inheritance of property and other civic matters. And today we have come to that situation that anybody who will say that let the law of land treat everyone equally will be called communal, and somebody who will say that no, Muslims be guided by Muslim law, Sikhs by Sikh law, Buddhists by Buddhist law, Hindus by Hindu law, they will be called the secular persons. There was something wrong or something unique, wrong or right, but unique about the definition of secularization in India. In the West, secularization meant fall in religiosity. Our sociologists, Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, Talcott Parse is later addition, Karl Marx, they all thought that magic, witchcraft, sorcery and religion, they exist in relatively less developed stages of society. And when society will develop with arrival of education, science education, technological advancement, more rational attitude towards life, not only magic and witchcraft will go, religion will also go, and people will become more secular. It will be a process of secularization. And in many senses, in Western society, secularization, yes, has taken place. Number of persons going to church attendance has declined, and political, family, legal, cultural, large number of other institutions of society have become autonomous. When it comes to the issue of women, when it comes to the issue of family, property or education or jobs or other cultural issues, church does not play any important role in Western society anymore. But situation in India is different. Here, secularization was defined as a concept according to which state will not treat people belonging to different religions differently. There will be no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed or religion. That was the definition of secularization. Indian political leaders thought that India will never be a secular country in the sense of fall of religiosity. So we have to manage with a situation in which people are religious and state is secular. So they decided that in case of India, secularization will be defined not as fall in religiosity. In the Western context, it means fall in religiosity. But in India, secularization does not mean fall in religiosity. It meant, our planners, leaders meant that it means non-discrimination on the basis of caste, creed and community, on the basis of religious community. The state will pay equal regard. State will not discriminate in appointments of civil servants, in educational institutions. State will not discriminate against anyone on the basis of creed, religion or faith. That is secularization in India. So we have a very peculiar situation. You want to?
Sir, this definition of secularization has allowed all the religious, all the religions in India to run rampant, and you know, I think that's the reason government has not been able to institutionalize all the things in our system and making them independent of religion. This definition is like you are trying to please all the religions, and you cannot do that if you want to develop as a country.
Yes, it's a big problem. Last Sunday, last to last, Satyamev Jayate has become a very popular program of Amir Khan, and they brought members of KHAP. Normally, among intellectuals and educated people today, these KHAP panchayats and KHAP leaders are portrayed to be some kind of villains of society. They are saying that we will not accept the law of government of India. When it comes to marriage, means civil matters, we will not accept the law of government of India. We will accept our own traditions, our own customary laws. They are not asking for anything else other than this. And if according to tradition and according to their customary law, certain things are prohibited, like marriages within Gotras are prohibited, because all the people, males and females from the same Gotra, are like brothers and sisters. So we will not permit. Now if KHAP leaders say this, they are treated like villains. But then what is the difference between leaders of KHAP and Islamic leaders? Today we have a separate law for Muslims, because Muslims want to be run in civil matters according to their own law. What is wrong if KHAP leaders are also asking for the same thing? If KHAP was powerful, they are quite powerful. In Haryana, percentage of Jats is very large. And all the elite, educational, political, NGO, bureaucratic elite, they are all Jats. Irrespective of political party, they have a sort of understanding among themselves. But still, they are not so powerful. And because of their dependence on Hindus outside Haryana, they are not so powerful that they can ask collectively and more vocally for a separate law for Jats of Haryana. But if Jats of Haryana could afford that, they had more number, their dependence on other states was less, and they did not belong to a common fold of Hindus. Then what is morally wrong if Khaps say that they should not be governed by Hindu law, if in the same country Muslims are not governed by Hindu or by, and actually Hindu law is not Hindu law. There was a demand when at the time of constitution making, there was very interesting fact. I was surprised to read somewhere that of all the states, the demand for such a thing came from Bengal, from Calcutta. In Calcutta, there was a group of high caste Hindus which had demanded first that the Constitution of India should be based on Hindu religious texts. But Hindus in other parts of the country, Hindus in Bengal itself, laughed at them. And a consensus developed that no, law of India should not be based on any Smriti or Shastra or any Hindu law. Law of India must be human. There was a general agreement. Irrespective of regional differences, caste differences, linguistic differences, we will have a general law for everyone. But problem arose when the general law for everyone is not to be implemented for 13–14% population of India. Now, if these 13–14% population of India, Muslims, can ask for this, what is wrong if some people belonging to Khap are also asking for this, as far as demand is concerned? I can only see that they are not, Khaps are Jats of Haryana are numerically and politically not so important, not so powerful as the Muslims of India are. So then it means that religious issue becomes an issue of power. It's not a religious issue alone. Religion, politics, education, 4.5% for Muslims. Under OBC, 4.5% be reserved for Muslims. Education. In education, religion enters education, religion enters politics, religion enters family, family laws, madrasa, the issue of madrasa. I was reading in, when an ordinary person says, when an ordinary person says that certain schools of India run by religious foundations are making people religiously more fundamentalist kind, then the intellectuals or secularists, they may criticize them, say that this is a demand of BJP type of people. But when the government itself takes such a view, let me read one paragraph from 11th 5-year plan, which will show how religion enters. And this is not a document from Communist Party of India or BJP. It's not part of manifesto of BJP or anything. It's a paragraph from 11th 5-year plan. The latest 5-year plan is still under implementation of Government of India. There is a section of madrasas and maktabs in the chapter on education. And one part of that is education in human moral values, civic duties, environmental protection, and physical education will be built into the system whereby every child is prepared to face the future with a healthy frame of mind and body and become a responsible citizen. Good? No problem in this. Education will foster. What are our expectations from education? The next lecture. Spirit of liberty, freedom, patriotism, non-violence, tolerance, national unity and integration, cultural harmony, inquisitive reasoning, rationality, and scientific temper in young minds. First, I was wondering that what they have written here, liberty, freedom, patriotism, non-violence, tolerance, national unity, integration, cultural harmony, inquisitive reasoning, rationality, and scientific temper. Why does this paragraph not appear just in the beginning of the chapter on education in 11th five-year plan? Because these values are the general values. We expect education to promote these values. Why is education in madrasas only expected to promote these values? Does it not show a kind of communal mind of government of India? Does it not? Then what is wrong if BJP people or RSS people say that madrasas promote values just opposite to them? So you are also agreeing with them, and then you are saying that an attempt will be made in 11th five-year plan to promote such values in madrasas and maktabs. Why don't you say, if these values are secular, and these are secular values, we want these values to be promoted, then such a paragraph should not come under the section or subsection of madrasas and maktabs. It must be the opening paragraph of the chapter on education. This shows the communal mind. Religion is affecting all of us. Whether we are Hindus or Muslims or Sikhs or secular or communal, we are all in some other way a communal type of person. Every school and EGS AIE center will receive a special grant to celebrate national festivals of Independence Day and Republic Day. You will give special grants to madrasas and maktabs for celebrating Independence Day. What does it assume? If government of India tomorrow say that, or in what conditions will government of India be forced to say that IIT Kanpur will be given a special grant to celebrate national festival and Independence Day and Republic Day? That will happen only if they come to know, or the assumption is that IIT Kanpur people are producing anti-nationalists. And IIT Kanpur people do not celebrate Republic Day or Independence Day or National Day. Do something to encourage them also to celebrate Independence Day. Why should government of India give a special grant to celebrate Independence Day? You want to buy nationality, you want to buy patriotism, you want to buy, first of all, you accept the idea that Muslims are anti-national. Even after independence, you accept the idea that those who are going to madrasas and maktabs are anti-national and not patriot. And there is a need to give money to them to celebrate Independence Day. Or then if somebody say that in cricket match, Muslim side with Pakistan, what is the difference between their mentality and mentality of government of India? Our secularization is nothing but communal. India's secularization is communal. And I have seen that many important sociologists in India, including one, T.N. Madan, in his writings. T.N. Madan was a Kashmiri Pandit and a very renowned, he is still alive, a very renowned sociologist from Delhi. He has written several books. He takes the position that the problem of secularization in India is not this, that some people are secular, some are communal. The problem is that for some people, secularization includes an inclusive approach, that what is right for everyone. And there are some other groups according to whom secularization has to be defined in the framework of their religion. What religion says, this is of God, this is of the world. And accordingly, our attitude towards secularization should be. And at the end it says, hoisting of national flag on these days should be made mandatory. Mandatory, it's like देश भक्ति जबरदस्ती, हम लोगों को जबरदस्ती देशभक्त बनाएंगे. IIT अगर if this paragraph is written for us, IIT कानपुर के स्टूडेंट्स को जबरदस्ती हम एक तो मैंडेटरी कर दें, कंपलसरी, जबरदस्ती, in all educational institutions including private schools with discipline. So, to me it's a very communal way of looking at problem of religious minorities. But what is the solution? I don't know. It's not so simple. I can only point out that the problem of secularization in India is the problem of conflict between two definitions of secularization. One, that secularization needs to be defined independent of religion, must be defined independent of religion. A, this is one definition. B, secularization. What form of secularization? How much secularization? What should be our attitude toward different things? Divine, worldly, be defined in religious framework. And as long as this conflict remains, actually the problem of communal conflict in India is essentially, though there are many other things, there are some people who organize communal violence, they must be having some vested interest, political or economic or social. There are issues of association in areas where Hindus and Muslims live in mixed localities, depend on each other, that there is a Muslim shopkeeper, Muslim sweet seller, and both Muslims and Hindus are buying sweets from him, that there is a Hindu electrician and both Muslims and Hindus are depending on him for electrical repairs. When there is a mixture, very close mixture between Hindus and Muslims, riots will not take place. If there is no political interest, if political parties do not calculate, or if there are more than two political parties and there are more shifting votes, that in each election people can decide to vote for a different party. They are not loyal supporters of one of only two major parties in the country or at the state level. Then communal riots will not take place. If history is not defined in a communal manner, in our blood, most of you must have heard stories how Muslims and Hindus fought with each other in the past, how cruel they were. Many Muslims think that there was a time, I remember a few months back, for recruitment to faculty position, a Muslim lady came from Delhi, from a reputed institution, PhD from a reputed institution. And while presenting her thesis, she was saying, she was mentioning something about that Muslims of today feel more marginalized, especially because they carry the memory of being the ruler of this country for a long time. That Muslims were ruler of this country for a long time, for hundreds of years. And today they feel marginalized. I asked her, please tell me in which year of Indian history all Muslims of India were rulers. A number of rulers in India, 200, 300, 400 years back, in number 4, 5, 10 persons or families of Muslims were rulers, no doubt. But the ordinary Muslims were never rulers. Condition of ordinary Muslims was as bad always as the condition of ordinary Hindus. Now this way of looking by some Muslim intellectuals, that at one time Muslims were rulers of this country and now they are marginalized. This is communal. Likewise, thinking of Hindus that Hindu civilization was great, and then some invaders came, they looted Hindu temples, killed Hindus, destroyed Takshila, Nalanda. Explanation on the basis of religion only. Barbarian, uncivilized kind of persons can belong to any religion. It's wrong to, but this is Hindu communalism. So but at the root of all the problem of India, theoretical problem is that there are some people who think that secularization must be defined independent of religion. If something is secular, it is secular for A.K. Sharma, for Muhammad Ansari, for Gurpreet Singh, and for Wilson, for everyone. For UP Walas, for Kerala Walas, for Punjabis, for Kashmiri. While sizable number of people in India think that secularization has to be defined in a religious framework. The way God or a guru or a saint or a book has defined secularization, that you can take liberty only up to this much and in this field, not in that field. So there is a basic conflict between these two. As long as you will have this conflict unresolved, you will have communal parties and you will not have the true presence of secularization in the country.